without taking away from what's been built, I agree 100% for all your hard work, Anna. What I don't agree with is how we got here. Surprising us. We can't do that as a council.
I disagree. It's a public hearing. Anybody can come.
I completely disagree, because one thing after another, we sit here and try to respect each other.
We need to prepare, Anna.
Complete lack of respect for the decorum that's been created for 100 years in this room.
I think it's disrespectful to council, to citizens,
and then they tell me that I'm waving my eyes, and I'm not. It's just when they went to the MF and calling us MFers. I have a problem with that, Anna, and that's when
I didn't tell anybody what to say.
I realize that, but you didn't have control of it, and you don't understand when you invite the whole room to combust, that the lack of respect is going to pour because of your lack of respect for us.
I disagree, and frankly, I am here to be a voice for my community, and that's what I was doing that evening. And if that was
That's fine. We don't need to be surprised, Anna. That's all I'm saying. Why not sit down with them?
We can agree to disagree right now. I don't think there's anything you can say right now that's going to convince me.
Well, I don't want it to happen again. So that's all I want to say. I don't think it's fair to us. And I somehow, of a raise of hands, who thought it was fair?
I felt we should have been
prepared.
ready. I don't see a problem with all of them coming here, because it is a public meeting and we needed to hear from those people.
We did get a message from the city manager that there would be protesters here.
We at least knew, and we're
All we had to do was give us a little notice.
We notified,
Anna,
the group notified the police, and we notified the city manager that there would be protesters here. This wasn't something that nobody knew was coming, and that came in an email from the city manager to council in advance of that meeting.
Huh. I've never seen one. You guys? Anna, your hard work is paying off. It's working. All I'm asking you to do is please just, next time, it would have been nice to sit down with them, have an emergency meeting, do whatever we need to do. But I think we got a lot more support from council if we would have sat down.
I wasn't looking for council support.
Obviously, that's obvious.
That's absolutely wonderful to hear that.
Why do I need council support to give a space that is a public hearing to members of our community who don't feel like they are traditionally heard or listened to or invited to the table? I invited them to the table.
I get that. I'm a minority in the group. I get that. But it could have been done better. And I think you would have got
it. Could have been done with a little bit more class.
Well, defeats the purpose of a council, Anna.
It doesn't defeat the purpose of community movement. I understand you guys want me to respect 100 years of decorum, but that's not in the city charter that requires me to follow any sort of decorum.
Well, let's make it part of it then, because I'm not going to put up with it, and it's ridiculous.
I don't think we're going to change a city charter that says that a council member cannot help community members understand how to access their council and what the rules are on public hearings.
Or here's my promise to you, Anna. Next time it happens, I won't be as pleasant.
You don't have to be pleasant.
Okay.
You can be whatever you want to
And it's going to be hostile. And then what? We can eliminate all that by just
brought them in here. The way you did that.
The way I did, I simply told them where they were allowed to be and when.
Well, they did show up for a pre-meeting, and that is not a public meeting. They can sit and listen to what we talk about, but they are not there to speak.
They weren't here. The plan was not for them to speak during public meeting. Or
during the meeting, because they wanted to speak during our pre-meeting, and that's not why we have that pre-meeting. But they needed to wait until the public meeting because it needed to be recorded.
And I instructed them.
On TV, and
I instructed them that the pre-meeting was not for their participation. It was the fact that our mayor stated on the record that we would be discussing our statement on the issues, on the race issues that were facing our community, that were facing our country. The fact that that was on the record, that we would be discussing it then, they wanted to observe that conversation, which they are allowed to do.
Okay.
And they were instructed in advance that that was not a dialogue time, and that's why they were staying for public comment, was to use the public comment time, which they have a right to use.
Well, and I just want to say that I understand that people feel upset, and I understand that you feel you have a right to do this, and that's good. We all do. Each one of us have a right to have our own opinions and to speak with them. But we gain more by getting the support of other members to get something done. And that's what I'm hearing is if we'd have known and you'd have said, I really want it, I'm going to do this, you guys, and I want this because I want to see something happen here, you'd have had more support and people would have felt like you were saying, hey, you were leading something for all of us to jump on board. But I think some people, and myself included, felt like they were brought in here to attack. And it was uncomfortable for everyone because that's not what they were trying to do. They were trying to help us understand what they're going through. And it didn't come across feeling that way because we felt like it was just dumped on us. And that's all that I think anyone's saying is you can have and bring anybody in. You have a right to do that. But to get us all on board, it might have been good to at least talk to some of us or said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. So you're going to see some of this. And I'm going to be talking about something that's going on one of my committees that you guys are probably going to hear about. But I want to give you a heads up.
I think we can all agree this council has not exactly been a big, open arms, welcoming, collaborative group. So I am not going to be chastised for not working together with a group of people who do not all want to work together with everyone on council. So again,
I would beg to differ. As soon as this seat was mine, I reached out to you to say I would be appointing, if we had subcommittees, we would be appointing everyone. We would not be doing anything unilaterally ever again. And that was the mission right from day one. And it's been 6 weeks, and that has been the mission, Anna. And if you don't see it that way, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry you don't see it that way, but we are moving forward in that vein. I think open and clear communication is very nice. And respect for everyone on this is very nice, because I've had it for you up until that night.
Have you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great.
Who's called you, and now I have to have 3 phone numbers on you and 2 different emails, and that's what I'm trying to do is reach out and touch everyone on this council, because everyone has the right, because we all have a voice. Not one of us can carry the day. Not one. We have to have 4 of us or 5 of us, and I think 7 is wonderful to have.
Well,
I'm sorry you don't feel respected, but if you'd show a little respect, it's like being a friend. If you're a friend, be a friend first, and you'll be a friend back. You'll get.
Let's not get into the chicken and the egg of respect on this council, Duke.
Yeah. Could I get to my number 2 point?
Can I finish mine? Chuck,
Good luck with that
can I finish mine first? Greg, all that would have taken some notice from you, please. Next time, when you find out, when I pull up and there's a van of policemen jumping out of their van, and I'm going, what the beep? That's not fair to me.
Greg did put it in an email. Greg said we are expecting protesters. It came in an email to us.
I have a full-time job. I don't have time to visit my email constantly.
Then how else would he have notified you?
A phone call, like I normally get. I get phone calls all the time. He's got staff. There's other people that could have reached out. Since the time frame was so short, that's all I'm asking for. I don't think that's asking for too much.
I don't blame it.
I didn't know whether to bring my Glock with me in the building or not. That's how serious it was, Anna. Seriously, they were rolling out, they were coming in, they had their SWAT gear. What was I to think?
It was a peaceful protest, people exercising their First Amendment
And that's why we had so many police in the building.
Peaceful protests, people ranting and raving and screaming about who to vote for.
Anna, I want to work with you. I just want to be notified.
Phil, you can be done chastising me because
I don't want to chastise you.
It's not making an impact. If that's what you're, if you're
I don't
trying
want
to
to make an
convince
impact.
me
I
to
just
have done
want
something differently.
Okay, let's move on. We'll play this way then.
Thank you.
Okay, your point made.